Have you ever walked into a room for the very first time and felt an overwhelming sense that you have been there before? You know logically that this is impossible. You have never set foot in this city, let alone this specific building, yet the feeling is undeniable. The arrangement of the furniture, the pattern of the wallpaper, or the way the light falls across the floor seems pulled directly from a past experience you cannot quite place. This sensation is known as déjà vu, a French term that literally means already seen. It is not just a feeling of seeing something again. It is a powerful, eerie sense of familiarity mixed with the absolute knowledge that this familiarity is wrong. The experience is often so vivid and unsettling that it can stop you in your tracks. For a brief moment, you might even feel like you can predict what will happen next, as if you are reliving a forgotten dream. The feeling is slippery. It rises suddenly, floods your senses with confusion and wonder, and then recedes just as quickly, leaving no trace behind except the memory of the feeling itself. Scientists and philosophers have been puzzled by this phenomenon for centuries, trying to understand why our brains would play such a convincing trick on us. It is a universal human experience, with a majority of people reporting at least one episode in their lives. Yet its cause remains one of the most fascinating mysteries of the human mind. One of the leading scientific theories explains déjà vu not as a mystical glimpse into a past life or a hidden psychic ability, but rather as a simple glitch in the brain's processing system. Think of your brain like a highly sophisticated computer that processes information through multiple channels simultaneously. When you see a person, your brain processes their face, their voice, and their smell all at once, but it weaves these separate threads into a single, unified moment of recognition. The theory of a neural glitch suggests that for a fraction of a second, one of these information pathways is slowed down. Imagine a situation where your eyes see a scene, and that visual information is sent to your memory centers along a primary high-speed route and a secondary slower route. Usually, the information arrives and is processed as a new, fresh experience. But what happens if, due to a tiny misfire, the slower route delivers the information a millisecond late? Your brain might process the scene first as a new memory being formed, and then, when the delayed signal arrives, it mistakenly interprets it as an old memory being recalled. The result is a powerful and false sense of familiarity. You feel like you are remembering something in the very same instant you are experiencing it for the first time. It is not a memory from the past. It is an error in the brain's timestamp, labeling a present moment with the feeling of the past. Another compelling explanation takes us deeper into the library of our own memories. This theory suggests that déjà vu is triggered when a current situation shares a striking but unconscious similarity with a fragment of a genuine past memory. Our brains do not just store full, high-definition video clips of everything that happens to us. Instead, they break experiences down into their core components, like the shape of a room, the play of light and shadow, the position of an object on a table, or even a specific emotional tone. You might walk into a friend's new apartment and be hit with a wave of déjà vu. You have never been there, so why does it feel so familiar? The answer could be that the layout of the living room, the angle of the sofa to the window, and the color of the rug uncannily match a configuration from a place you visited as a very young child. Perhaps a grandparent's house you have long consciously forgotten. Your brain instantly recognizes the pattern of elements from that deeply buried, fragmented memory. It sends out a familiarity alarm, but because the original, complete memory is not accessible to your conscious mind, you are left only with the powerful feeling of knowing, without any source for that knowledge. It is the ghost of a memory, a match made in the unconscious recesses of your mind that bubbles up only as a confusing emotional signal. To pinpoint the source of this sensation, neuroscientists have ventured into the physical structures of the brain, focusing on a region called the temporal lobe, and more specifically, a small area within it known as the rhinal cortex. The rhinal cortex acts as a critical gatekeeper for memory. It is deeply involved in the process of deciding whether something you are perceiving is familiar or completely novel. Researchers have used functional magnetic resonance imaging, or fMRI, to observe the brains of people as they experience sensations of familiarity. They have found that the rhinal cortex can be activated even without the full engagement of the hippocampus, which is the brain's main memory formation center. This is a crucial distinction. It means the part of your brain that generates the feeling of familiarity can be switched on independently from the part that provides the details of a memory. Déjà vu might occur when your rhinal cortex fires off a "this is familiar" signal by mistake, like a smoke detector going off without a fire. Your conscious, logical brain then scrambles to make sense of this sensation. It knows that the familiar signal is usually followed by the details of the memory, but since no actual memory details exist, you are left in a state of profound cognitive dissonance, feeling a recognition that has no logical origin. While the neural glitch and memory match theories are grounded in biology and psychology, there is another fascinating perspective that frames déjà vu as a healthy reality check for the brain. This idea is sometimes playfully called the glitch in the matrix theory, but its scientific basis is less about science fiction and more about error correction. Your brain's primary job is to construct a seamless, accurate, and reliable model of reality from the chaotic flood of information it receives from your senses. It is constantly making micro-decisions and judgments, and just like any complex system, it is prone to the occasional error. A moment of déjà vu can be seen as your consciousness briefly detecting this construction process in action. It is a moment where the seamless illusion of reality flickers, and you catch your brain making a categorization error by mistaking a new perception for a memory. Instead of this being a sign of a broken brain, many scientists now believe it is a sign of a healthy one, performing a self-diagnostic. The feeling of unease and the immediate rejection of the familiarity as false shows that your brain's fact-checking and conflict detection systems are working perfectly. You feel the error, your prefrontal cortex flags it as illogical, and you move on, having effectively tested the integrity of your own consciousness. It is a reminder that what we experience as a solid, objective reality is actually a beautifully orchestrated internal performance. For a long time, déjà vu was primarily studied in a clinical context as a symptom of a medical condition. Researchers observed that the sensation is a common occurrence right before a temporal lobe seizure, a type of epileptic event that occurs in the part of the brain responsible for memory and sensory processing. For people with this form of epilepsy, déjà vu is not a fleeting curiosity that happens once a year. It can be an intense, prolonged, and repetitive warning sign, or aura, that a seizure is about to begin. This connection provided a major clue. It pinpointed the temporal lobe as the likely origin of the sensation in all people, not just those with epilepsy. Scientists now theorize that a spontaneous, tiny, and perfectly harmless electrical misfire in the temporal lobe could be the physical trigger for déjà vu in healthy brains. Think of it as a miniature, localized brainwave disturbance that is quickly corrected by the surrounding neural circuits before it can spread and cause a full seizure. This biological perspective connects the psychological experience directly to a physical event. The déjà vu you feel might be the subjective experience of your brain's healthy neurons successfully suppressing and correcting a tiny, random burst of chaotic electrical activity, preventing a bigger problem and leaving you with only a strange, lingering sensation. If déjà vu is a glitch or an error in a malfunctioning brain, you would expect it to happen more often as we age and our cognitive functions decline. The data, however, shows the exact opposite. Déjà vu is most frequently reported by young people, typically between the ages of 15 and 25, and its occurrence steadily decreases with age. This pattern provides a powerful clue to its nature. The young adult brain is not a decaying system. It is a system at its peak of flexibility and pattern recognition. It is during these years that the brain is most actively and rapidly making novel connections, learning new social rules, navigating complex environments, and building a vast, intricate catalog of life experiences. The machinery for detecting familiarity is operating at its highest sensitivity, constantly sifting through a fire hose of new information and looking for meaningful patterns. This hyper-efficiency may make it more susceptible to false alarms. A highly sensitive pattern detection system will inevitably find false positives. An older brain, which has a more settled and deeply grooved neural architecture, operates more on established templates and efficient routines, reducing the chance for the spontaneous, mismatched pattern matching that triggers the sensation. The decline of déjà vu with age suggests it is a byproduct of a developing, actively learning, and maximally sensitive memory system. Despite all the elegant theories involving neural processing delays, memory mismatches, temporal lobe misfires, and the rhinal cortex, no single explanation has been definitively proven to be the sole cause of déjà vu. Perhaps this is because the phenomenon sits at the very intersection of memory, perception, and consciousness, the most complex frontier in all of science. Déjà vu offers us a strange gift, a moment where the automated, invisible processes that create our sense of self and time become briefly visible. We are reminded that our feeling of now is a construction, and our feeling of the past is a reconstruction. It is a brief, haunting crack in the usually solid facade of our personal reality. It shows us that memory is not a perfect, accurate video recording, but a dynamic, creative, and sometimes error-prone process of assembly. The next time you feel that eerie wave of false familiarity wash over you, you do not have to just shrug it off as weird. You can pause and appreciate that you are briefly experiencing the raw machinery of your own mind at work. It is a personal, internal magic trick where your brain is both the magician pulling the rabbit out of the hat and the amazed audience member who has no idea how it was done. That unsolved feeling is not a failure of science, but a testament to the beautiful and enduring mystery of being human.